Okay, accounting for NGOs, that is non-government organizations. We have to understand for a non-government organization how to make the profit and loss account or revenue account or income and expenditure account and balance sheet. Basically, we will not call it as profit and loss account because NGOs are generally for the purpose of social welfare. So because the purpose is social welfare, so instead of profit and loss account, it will be called income and expenditure account or revenue account. Okay. Will not waste time and see from theory. So look at page number 68. First, you will find the format of balance sheet is there. Then after that, format of income and expenditure account is there. Reason, if you see the schedule column, schedule means notes. You will see that in the order first we have 11 notes of balance sheet. Thereafter, you will see from 12 number the notes start in income and expenditure account. Do you see that second column of schedule, everyone?
Yes.
So you will find that first 11 notes are for balance sheet. And after that, in next page, income and expenditure account, you will see schedule the notes start directly from number 12. So first we'll see the formats of balance sheet and then income and expenditure. But when we have to solve the question, first we will make income and expenditure account, then only we will make balance sheet. Okay? In balance sheet, first is unrestricted funds. Liabilities side is first. Okay, normally if you remember, you don't remember because we have not done so far the final accounts of a joint stock company or anything. Now we don't make the balance sheets in T format, where liabilities come on the left side and assets come on the right side. Henceforth, second year and third year, whatever final accounts and financial statements you study, you'll always be making both income and expenditure P&L account as well as balance sheet in vertical format, which we have seen in profit prior to incorporation. That the profit and loss account was made in vertical format. First it was incomes, then it was expenses. So here also in balance sheet we make it in vertical format. First we have liabilities, then we have assets. Okay. In liabilities, very first thing is unrestricted funds. Okay, very first thing in liabilities is unrestricted funds. Now that includes corpus fund. Unrestricted funds means for that NGO, they can use that fund for any purpose, therefore unrestricted. Okay, within that we have corpus fund. Corpus fund means it is a fund which is created over a long period of time. Created over a long period of time means it is accumulated. Every year whatever income is over expenditure, that will be transferred to corpus fund. So small amount will be transferred every year and will result into a big amount in future. Suppose first year they have incomes of 10 lakhs and expenses of 8 lakhs. So 2 lakhs surplus remains.
Yes.
Like that net profit we used to transfer to capital account. Here they will transfer it to corpus fund. So first year you'll have corpus fund of 2 lakhs. Next year again suppose 3 lakhs is the excess, then you'll transfer to 2 lakhs plus 3 lakhs would become 5 lakhs. That way corpus fund is created. Did you understand this? So whatever is income and expenditure accounts surplus, where would you transfer that? Corpus fund. And that is how it is built up. Any confusions with this? So it can be used for any purpose. Very first unrestricted fund is corpus fund. Then we have general fund. Within this there are two. One is general fund in the nature of founders or promoters contribution. Like this, like capital. Whosoever has started with NGO, initially he would have contributed some amount, few thousands or lakhs of rupees to start in the social activity. So that amount is general fund in the nature of owners or promoters contribution. And second, funds related to non-depreciable assets not requiring fulfillment of any obligation. So if you have created any fund from non-depreciable asset, means fixed assets, and which does not have any liability, then that fund can be used for any purpose. So general fund you can underline founders or promoters contribution and non-depreciable assets. Okay, so once again, very first we have unrestricted fund. Within unrestricted fund we have corpus fund, general fund. Did everyone understand this? General fund includes founders or promoters' contribution and non-depreciable assets. Then we have designated funds, that is schedule number 4. Corpus fund is schedule 1. Then general fund in the nature of promoters' contribution is schedule 2. Then general fund for non-depreciable asset is schedule 3. Now, on the left side of unrestricted funds, number it as 1. And on the left side of designated funds, number it as 2. Okay? So, designated fund is the next heading. Got it everyone? Yes. Corpus fund and general fund comes again under unrestricted funds. The designated fund is the second heading. Yes, we are asking something. Yes?
You will writing same format?
Means I have written the heading in that order. Okay. Now, designated funds means what? You have kept the fund for specific purpose, designated purpose. Suppose you keep a fund, an NGO keeps a fund. With that fund, they want to distribute books to the poor children who are studying in schools, clothes to the poor children who are studying in the school. This is designated fund. So whatever money is in that fund, you cannot use it for any other purpose. You use it only for distributing books and clothes to the poor children. Did you understand this question, everyone? So second is designated fund. Third heading is restricted funds. Mark it as number 3. But schedule number is 5. Now restricted funds means again they are restricted, they cannot be used for any purpose. But again it is not that they can be used for only one purpose. They can be used for a group of purposes, but they are restricted. Beyond that they cannot be used. Designated means you can use it only for one specific purpose. And restricted means you can use it for 4, 5, several purposes, but beyond that you cannot use the same. Did everyone understand this? So mark it as number 3. Then loans and borrowings is number 4. This is the fourth liability. Now loans and borrowings may be secured or unsecured. Then current liabilities and provisions, number it as 5. Did you understand this? So which is the category of liabilities? Once again, very first we have unrestricted funds. So within unrestricted funds we have corpus fund and general fund. Within general fund we have owners or founders contribution and non-depreciable assets. Second is designated fund. Third is restricted fund. Fourth is loans and borrowings. And fifth is current liabilities and provisions. Any doubts with this? Then application of funds. So heading is also not liability. What was the heading to that? What is the heading on the top? Sources of funds. So heading also we don't give it as liabilities, we give it as sources of funds. Instead of assets, now we give the heading application of funds, but they are assets only. Okay. Sources of funds means where from you get the funds, they are your liabilities. Application of funds means where you use the money, that is your asset. Now, fixed assets. So that order remains same. Even we used to write in balance sheet very first, fixed assets. But within fixed assets, first we will show tangible assets, then intangible assets, and then capital work in progress. You all understand what is fixed asset? Plant and machinery, building, furniture, those assets which remain for the long period of time. And tangible which can be touched, felt and seen. These examples which I gave were tangible assets. Intangible which cannot be touched, felt or seen. That includes goodwill, patents, trademarks, copyrights. Then capital work in progress means what? You are constructing your own fixed asset, but it is work in progress. It is not fully constructed, it is semi-finished constructed fixed asset. So suppose let us say that Reliance company is making a plant at Hazira, Surat, new plant, and that plant is half constructed, 30% constructed, 60% constructed, remaining work is still to be done. This is also your fixed asset, but we call it as work in progress. So capital work in progress, partly constructed fixed asset. Did you understand this? The important point of capital work in progress, remember it from HFA point of view, you'll have it in company panel accounts. Depreciation is never provided on capital work in progress until and unless the asset is fully constructed and ready to use, and you start using it, depreciation cannot be provided. So capital work in progress is not subject to depreciation. Did you understand this question? So remember it from the point of view of company man accounts also. So very first application of funds is fixed assets. Listen carefully. Within fixed assets we have tangible, intangible, capital work in progress. Then investments, this is the order we had in our balance sheet also. Okay, after fixed assets we used to show investments. Within investments, long term and short term. Then after investments we also used to show current assets. Now they show current assets separately and loans, advances and deposits separately. Did you understand this? We used to show all of them together, current assets, loans and advances. But current assets are shown separately and loans and advances are shown separately. So which are the application of funds assets? Fixed assets. Within that tangible, intangible, capital work in progress. Then investments. Long term, short term. Then current assets, then loans and advances and deposits. And after that there is a note. This comes below the balance sheet. Significant accounting policies and notes on accounts. You'll never have them. Otherwise that comes below the balance sheet as a footnote. Got it, everyone?
Yes.
Any confusions in this? Now close your books. Close the books, everyone. Samarth, what is the heading we give to liabilities? Sources of funds. First liability.
Corpus fund.
What is the heading for that?
Heading.
Unrestricted fund.
Unrestricted.
Within that we have corpus fund. And within second,
Designated fund.
after corpus fund, within unrestricted fund, what is the second item?
Corpus fund. General fund.
General fund. Dipesh, general fund, what is the first item? Patel? Patel, general fund first. Urban? In the nature of owners or founders or promoters' contribution. And second? Shah? Rati? Non-depreciable assets. General fund includes in the nature of owner or founder's contribution and non-depreciable assets. Then Vashmi second. First is unrestricted funds, then second. No. Sunita? Designated funds. Then M and third. Pratna? Restricted funds. Khushbu fourth. Someone? Fourth item after designated funds.
Restricted fund, unrestricted fund, then
Unrestricted is already over. Unrestricted is done, designated is done, restricted fund is done.
intangible asset and tangible.
We are doing liabilities still. Where are you going in assets? Edwin?
Long term, loans and advances.
Loans and borrowings. Loans and borrowings, secured and unsecured. Dipesh, after that, which next liability? Current liabilities and provisions. We had read when I am discussing. Now in application of funds, Patel first. Fixed assets. Urban within fixed asset first.
Tangible, intangible, and work in progress.
Yes, first one.
First one,
Tangible, intangible, capital work in progress. Then Shah. Fixed assets done. Investments, long term and short term. Jay? After investments,
Current assets.
current assets, and last, Rashmi, Sunita, loans, advances, and deposits. Not depreciation, deposits. Look at page number 16 of your table. And everyone should pay attention. Okay, this also I'll ask you again. Now, income and expenditure account. As I said here again, first we'll show incomes, then we'll show expenses. So, incomes. Before the incomes, you can see there are many columns made over here. Like you can see, you after the schedule number, you have column of general fund, then you have the column of designated fund, then you have restricted funds, then you have total. Do you find this?
Yes.
When do we have to do this very attentive? It is only related to income. When it is mentioned in the question in your exams, that make income and expenditure account with these columns. Otherwise, we will make two simple columns of amount only. Otherwise, we will be making two simple columns of amount only. These columns will be done only when it is specified in the question. And these columns are related only to income. Because maybe some person comes and gives you the donation for only a purpose, then that donation will go in designated fund. Or for only a purpose, then that donation will go to a restricted fund. So therefore, incomes will only come in these columns. Expenses will directly come in total column only. For example, if you look at page 76, first question, before the table, prepare balance sheet and income and expenditure account. While preparing income and expenditure account, show the income of 76 page question 1 and before. While preparing income and expenditure account, show the income of general fund, designated fund, and restricted fund. Here we'll make column number. But if you read question 2, then simply at the end, you are required to prepare income and expenditure statement of the year ended 31st December 13 and balance sheet. Is it mentioned that make income and expenditure? So first question will make those columns, second will not. Did you understand this question, everyone? And if you see on page 78, question 3 asked in exams, it is not mentioned. Question 5 asked in exams, it is not mentioned. Question 7, it is not mentioned. Question 8 also, it is not mentioned. None of the exam questions, they have asked you to make those columns. Did you understand it? So those columns will be made only when asked. And what are the columns? The liabilities columns only. Okay, within unrestricted funds, corpus fund, general fund, then designated fund, restricted fund, and total. And columns will also be mentioned. That only you will make. Now let us remember the incomes and expenses. First income is income from operations. Whatever activity NGO is doing, from that some income or revenue will be realized. Yes, Vaishnavi, what happened?
The CBM monthly loan is not able to get which subject?
Which subject?
I don't know.
Do you remember the order of your exams or not?
No, sir, we don't remember that. So the confusion is there.
Okay, she has the code, so.
Okay, please.
Now concentrate on this. Dear reader, very first will be income from operations. Means whatever activity the NGO is doing, some income or revenue will be earned from that. That will be income from operations. Second is not fans, make it fees. Fees and subscriptions. Whosoever are the members of NGO, you charge them the fees. So fees and subscriptions received from the members. Then grants and donation. Main income for NGO is what? Grants and donations. And then other incomes. So 4 categories of incomes are there. Income from operations, then fees and subscriptions, grants and donations, and other incomes. Once again, income from operations, fees and subscriptions, grants and donations, and other incomes. Then Then expenditure, materials consumed, employees benefit expenses. Do you remember the same expenses we had in profit and incorporation also? Material consumed, you'll find opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. In case if NGO is using or consuming any material, that way it will be opening. Employees benefit expenses will include salaries, contribution to PF. Administrative and general expenses will include all other expenses of the NGO. Finance cost will include interest, depreciation and amortization expenses, means return of expenses and other expenses. So once again, which are the expenses? Materials consumed, employees benefit expenses, administrative and general expenses, finance cost, depreciation and amortization expenses and other expenses. They are exactly same, those who have done HFA, as profit prior to incorporation. So for you people it's not difficult to remember, okay?
Okay, sir.
Then remaining A minus B will give you balance being excess of income over expenditure. From that you will make transfer to, underline the word to and write down minus above that. Underline the word from and write above that or below that plus. If you transfer any amount to designated fund like building fund and others, then you will minus. And if there is any transfer from the other funds, then we will plus. Okay, to we will minus and from we will add. And then we'll get balance being the surplus or deficit carried to general fund. And significant accounting policies and notes you will not have in the questions. Did you understand this?
Yes.
So, I'll give you now 2 minutes because very bad performance in balance sheet. Read that once again and then I'll ask you. Go through that properly. So, stop the video by that time.